Deputy Inspector General of Police in charge of the Department of Information and Communication Technology, Daniel Sokari Pedro, has assured residents in Bayelsa State that Saturday's election will be peaceful, although he noted that 5 of the 8 local governments are flashpoints. At a stakeholders meeting in Yenagoa, the DIG stated that in spite of the volatility of these local governments, the police is committed to a free, fair and credible election.
Mission committed, unlike before, where electoral offences were taken with levity. An act or mission committed during, in fact, before, during and after the election can constitute both an electoral offence as well as a crime. Therefore, after facing prosecution for electoral offence, we may equally charge you to court.
Our correspondent Sarah Ayeku is standing by in Bayelsa State for updates on the forthcoming election. Sarah, the DIG has mentioned that 5 of 8 local government areas in Bayelsa are flashpoints. Talk to us about the assurances given by the police for a peaceful poll on Saturday.
Abasade, it's been a very busy day, particularly for the security operatives. This morning we saw the DIG, that's DIG Daniel Sokari Pedro, give some kind of morale to his men at the police headquarters here in the state capital. And of course, one of the things he's telling them is that they should be unbiased and impartial in this process. That's a before, during and after this process. They're also ensuring that the policemen are deployed on time, particularly, you know, that Bayelsa State is very unique. Most of the local governments are in the riverine areas, and so it's important that they are being deployed on time. And so that's what we saw this morning at the police headquarters. Just a few moments ago, the DIG had met with stakeholders. When I tell you stakeholders, I'm talking about the civil society organizations, the traditional rulers, even the Christian and the Muslim community, to ensure that they are able to speak with their men. For civil society, they are also able to sensitize residents here in Bayelsa State and encourage them to come out and vote come Saturday. It's less than 48 hours now to this process, and we're hoping that this process will be as peaceful as it can be. The DIG had noted that Bayelsa is a peaceful state, but when election time comes, it becomes volatile, and that's why he had mentioned that 5 out of 8 local government areas here in the state are flashpoints. He said although the other 3 are also on the watch from the various security agencies, but these 5 local governments, let me give you their names now: Sagbama, Nembe, Southern Ijo, Brass, Kolokuma, Okokuma, are flashpoints for security operatives. And of course, from what we gathered, we understand that the security operatives will be deploying close to 27,000 policemen. And that's, if you now add that to some of the security agencies, that's the sister agencies, we're hoping to see about 30,000 police security operatives, not just the policemen now, the NSCDC and various security agencies also join the police officers to ensure that the elections here come Saturday, that's November 11, is peaceful. We're hoping to see that, although we've heard counter allegations and allegations from the major contenders in this election, we're hoping that they will abide by the peace accord which was signed yesterday.
And perhaps one of the uniqueness of off-cycle elections is the availability of resources. You know, talk about deploying such huge number of security operatives to man the conduct of the elections. Let's talk about the offshoot of that peace accord that was signed. We know that across board, you know, just as you mentioned, there have been accusations and counter accusations. But what do you think is the stance of the political parties as they go into the polls?
So this election, interestingly, we're hoping to see 16 political parties jostle to take the seat of the governor. The incumbent, which is Governor Doyediri, is seeking a re-election. We're hoping to see a comeback also from the candidate of the All Progressives Congress, Timmy Silva. We're hoping to also see a candidate from the Labour Party. We've been trying to also get word from the Labour Labour Party. Since morning, Abbasadei has not been picking his calls. We've been trying to, of course, get his own side of the story, listen to his concerns about this election and how it will pan out for him. It seems that it's just the All Progressives Congress and the People's Democratic Party that is going ahead with this process. Most of the other candidates seem not to be talking to the media at this point. So we're hoping that we'll get a word from them as to hear what their concerns are. But the police had highlighted that it's important to note, or interesting to note, that he said, I'm quoting the words of the DIG now, he said that the youths have been identified as a vanguard of these cases of violence being experienced in these local governments. And so he's given his word that these purveyors, should I say, of violence and the sponsors of this violence will be arrested even before the election process starts on Saturday. So we're hoping to see some arrests, happen before the end of today or probably tomorrow, Friday, while INEC is distributing sensitive materials to the 8 local government areas. We know that already the non-sensitive materials have been deployed to some of the local governments in the state. We're hoping that today, tomorrow, we'll see them also deploy these sensitive materials to these local governments. That's the 8 local governments, particularly the riverine communities, which is of concern to a lot of election observers. We're hoping to also see the police do a show of force today and tomorrow to ensure and give a warning, a clear warning to hoodlums and miscreants who want to take advantage of the election process.
All right, Sarah, thank you very much for that update. Sarah Ayeku for us in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa State capital.